Good morning, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update. Friday, November 4th, noontime, mountain time, 2022. We got hammered, absolutely hammered overnight. 3 feet of snow for the Sangre de Cristos and the South San Juans, as well as the Central San Juans. Absolutely hammered, and there's more snow coming. Storm system to bring snow to every western state and a tornado threat to the south. Keep calm. It's boom time. We have lots of moisture lining up to pour into the west, and nearly 2 feet of snow could blanket parts of the west. Here's the forecast from now until Monday. So you can see here western Wyoming, northern Idaho, the elevations in Washington, Oregon. Even the Sierras will be picking up some of that global warming goodness as snow falls across parts of Arizona, causing delays and accidents. Well, and maybe an early opening up here at Snow Bowl. Take a look. This is the scene this morning. Pretty fantastic. South Central Alaska also saw snow with a snowstorm that led to dozens of crashes in Anchorage and schools closed. You can see there from there moving the snow through Anchorage. And the severe thunderstorm threat looms for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and it could pack damaging winds, maybe some tornadoes. Here is the severe thunderstorm forecast for Friday through early Saturday. So Dallas to Houston, over to Shreveport and Austin. You're in the bullseye. And here's the NATO cast for the same time period. There is a very high probability here of some tornado formation in northeast Texas, the nexus of the schmexes. Now let's take a look at this amazing 72-hour snowfall totals. Heavy snow already, northern Idaho in the mountains, and this is really the beginning of the season. Snow fell all the way into Southern California, across the Sierras, just about a foot of snow there, a foot of snow in the Oregon mountains, and a little bit more than a foot of snow in places in Washington. And so we're definitely the big winner. We have some areas of 2 feet of snow here in Utah, several places, but take a look at these totals down here, 36 inches across the board everywhere. And I'm sure it's higher in some areas. And we're getting more snow later this week. Severe event in the southern tier of the U.S. as an atmospheric river arrives in northwestern U.S. 2 major storm systems will impact different areas of the U.S. on Friday. A dynamic storm will lift through the plains, and severe thunderstorms with damaging winds and tornadoes are likely for parts of Texas and Oklahoma into Arkansas and Louisiana. In the northwest, an anomalous plume of Pacific moisture will inundate the region with heavy rain, possible flooding, mountain snow, and high winds. So we've got winter storm watches, warnings, flood watches up here for Washington State, more winter storm watches for the Sierras, and holy macaroni, what is the purple? Hazardous seas. No, these are actually freeze warnings for North Texas. So heads up, the weather is getting a little squirrely. Let's take a look at the models. You can see that atmospheric river moving its way in and dropping down. A couple of waves there. This is going to be the secondary wave, which is going to produce the most snow there for Utah. Holy macaroni. Let's look at those totals. Look, we also have a little tropical system that may be moving its way across Florida, it looks like. That just came onto the model. This is a new model run, and that was not on the last model. So we do, and that is the same region they just got battered before. That is the last thing they need. Only this would be approaching from the east and would hit north of Miami, the way this is lining up. So we have a potential hurricane forming in the second week of November. Now let's take a look at the snowfall totals. Just to get an idea, we'll run it through. Here's your Friday through Saturday. So Utah's the big winner. Idaho's the big winner there, as some heavy snow is in northern Washington State. And here is Saturday morning, all day Saturday into Sunday. A little fun day. Here's your Monday. And that is as far as we only go out 66 hours here. So that's the snow for the next 66 hours. Looking pretty heavy in some areas, with picking up at least 2 or more feet in just the next few days. Seismic update, interesting rocker here. Remember, we had the interesting quake on the Murray fracture zone. That could have translated down here, popping off a 6.1 in the middle of the Baja Bay there, the Gulf of California. Take a look. Pretty interesting quake there. We have continued activity on the Reykjanes Ridge. This is a seismic swarm that's been going on for months. We have a quake up in the middle of Nunavut, in the middle of nowhere. And there is some recent activity happening just now in Hawaii. Leilani Estates 2.7. So we're multiple quakes happening down here. And it looks like Mauna Loa is about to blow up. So heads up there. Quick trip over to the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network. And we can see St. Helens up here as the top line. Most active volcano in the Pacific Northwest, and it continues to rumble with 55 quakes in the last 30 days. Mount Rainier is all quieted down, and Mount Hood has gone silent for the last week and a half. We do have 2 quakes in Newberry recently in the last few days, so that's a slight uptick, but St. Helens is the big winner, chicken dinner, with 55 earthquakes in the last 30 days. The highest volcano plume ever recorded penetrates the mesosphere. And if you're wondering which, it's the Hunga Tonga. Now, this baby was bigger than Pinatubo. The analysis showed that it reached an altitude of 57 kilometers, 35 miles at its highest point, a great deal taller than the 40-kilometer high or 25-mile plume ejected from Pinatubo in 1991. This also makes it the first volcanic eruption to carry material through the troposphere and stratosphere to inject it directly in the mesosphere. And so this is going to affect climate on Earth for quite some time. Worldwide volcano news update. Not much going on. Etna, period of relative calm and pretty pictures. But nothing else happening spectacular. Sabancay to 27,000 feet. Swanosima to 4,000. Sangay to 23,000. Nevados de Ruiz, 24,000. So no big booms to report. As we take a look at space weather, the disk is pretty much blank. We do have 2 sunspots that are incoming here. Let's see if I can get them into the frame. No. But there they are right here. Boom and boom. Not much happening from these. We did have a sea flare from some activity that kicked off the north. We can go over that activity. A prominence eruption around 22 UTC took place towards the top of the sun here. That is no Earth-directed coronal mass ejection. We had a filament eruption down here also. You can see that CME from the prominence eruption going up and away from us. And so that's all the activity we have going. Very low level geomagnetic storm forecast potentially for November 5th because of a coronal hole stream, which we are now in, and is really not giving us much in the way of we're sitting here at KP3. So all is quiet on the sun. Now, if you missed my interview with Antonio Zamora last night, I will link it after this video. It's on Magnetic Reversal News. It is a must-watch if the Carolina Bays are of interest. He's one of the top researchers in the field, and some of the things he postulated, now are coming true in real time. Here, a paper just being released November 2nd of this year, Volcanic Trigger of Ocean Deoxygenation During Cordilleran Ice Sheet Retreat. This is during the Younger Dryas period, and they're talking about evidence for volcanic eruptions happening and potentially happening underneath of the ice sheet here, causing massive flooding events like Jokulips that happen in Iceland. Those are the largest floods ever witnessed by humans. When you have a volcano erupting under several miles of ice, it can melt oceans of water, and then that works its way out of the edge, and boom, massive flood outbreak. And this is what may have happened in the channeled Scablands. So there'll be more on that topic in the future. The ice-free corridor may have had some help from the volcanoes. Here are the volcanoes in North America, all from Alaska all the way down here to Baja. And you can see they go right up where there once was the Cordilleran ice sheet. So any volcano erupting underneath here would have unleashed hellish floods from the ice cap. So that's quite interesting. Now, this is not interesting, but disgusting. More labs finding troubling levels of cancer-causing chemicals in more types of dry shampoo products. It's benzene that you're spraying directly on your head. High levels of benzene, a cancer-causing chemical, have been detected in more brands and batches of dry shampoo products. Guys, stop using these toxic, poisonous chemicals that they sell in the store for a few bucks. Learn about natural soaps, natural cleaning methods. All you really need is a really nice, clean, like olive oil soap, has just a few ingredients, and some vinegar. And you can pretty much clean anything you want in your entire house on your body. So think outside of the box. Now some bad news. The Bank of England expects the UK to fall into the longest ever recession, and it could even be worse. A major hedge fund just warned that hyperinflation could lead to global societal collapse. Where have you heard that? And that's a boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Hope you got something out of the video. Be a hero and share this video. Support our work. Become a Patreon. Be safe. We love you.